In spite of how flame-baity it may sound, I have no qualms admitting that I am a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, yeah, his 3D games have been up and down and all around in terms of quality, but there are still some good, even great games in that bunch. And the 2D games for the Genesis, or Mega Drive if you live outside of North America, are incredibly well crafted and break the mold of people's perceptions of the capabilities of that console visually and musically, as well as putting that processing speed to good use. Blast processing indeed. But I'm not here to talk about all that, no. Today, I'm here to talk about a game that's been sitting in my Steam library for quite some time now that was originally released for the Genesis. Sonic 3D Blast. While the Sega Genesis was actually the very first game console I ever owned or played, I actually don't have any Sonic games for it. That's because my dad, who actually bought the system for himself before I was even born, never really took an interest with the series. The games that I mostly played on the Genesis were Miss Pac-Man or Mortal Kombat. I came to own Sonic 3D Blast on Steam when, some time ago, Sonic Generations was part of their Midweek Madness sales. It was only about $10 or something, but when I was about to check out, I saw that the Sonic franchise pack, which included Generations and every other Sonic game available on Steam at the time, was only about $7. It was an obvious choice. I've tried out every game in that pack that I hadn't played before with the exception of this, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and Sonic Spinball, so I've got my gamepad all ready to go, and, well, I guess it's time to play Sonic 3D Blast. After watching a horrifically compressed CG cutscene in which Sonic has a stick in his ass for some reason, we're greeted by a silent title screen with a blank, black background. I guess most of the budget from Traveler's Tales went into that animation. The plot of the game is your standard Sonic fare. Dr. Robotnik found out about a race of birds called the Flickies that are capable of interdimensional travel or something, and have some sort of connection to the Chaos Emeralds. He promptly travels to their island home called Flicky's Island, yeah, great name there, and begins trapping the Featherbrains inside of Badniks when Sonic shows up and finds out what's going on. Sonic then begins his crusade to save the Flickies. And that's it. This was before Sonic plots started taking themselves too seriously. Back in the day, it was all about saving animals and collecting gemstones in order to stop a fat, bald scientist with a stylish mustache from taking over the world. The goal of each level is to defeat all Badniks you can find in order to free the 5 Flickies trapped inside at any given moment. Then you lead them to a floating ring which leads them to another dimension, I guess? Each zone has 3 acts. The first 2 have you saving Flickies, and the third is a boss battle with Dr. Robotnik. As is standard Sonic fare, you collect rings in order to take a hit from enemies without dying. Collect 100 rings, and you get an extra life. If you run out of lives and don't have any continues, it's game over, and you're booted back to the title screen, because there's no way to save your game. Now, Sonic 1 and 2 didn't have any save game functionality, but at least those games didn't have crappy isometric views, dickish level design, and slippery controls. The whole time I was playing, I felt like I was playing with ice physics, which certainly makes platforming a royal pain in the ass, especially with moving platforms. Sonic's slippery controls combined with the isometric view makes it almost impossible to successfully destroy Badniks by jumping. I had to resort to rolling into them, and even then it wasn't guaranteed that I hit them before I came out of a ball. And when you do destroy a Badnik and free the Flicky inside, it won't start following you until you touch it. It sounds like a minor thing, and for the blue and purple Flickies it's not too big of an issue. But the green Flickies wander off frequently, and the red Flickies are just dicks. Get back here, you son of a bitch! No, stay away from the lake of lava, you prick! Don't you want to be rescued? Does the idea of being a power source for a robot entice you that much, you ungrateful little bastard? Also, whenever you take a hit from something and lose your rings, not only do your rings disappear incredibly fast compared to previous installments, but the Flickies fucking scatter! So not only do you have to get them back, but you also have to find at least 1 ring to keep yourself alive should something decide to hit you. And if you do get hit again, then you have to repeat the process of gathering those feathered fucks all over again. The frustration factor is cranked up to 11 if this happens on a narrow path lined with turrets, any kind of turret. Your rings disappear almost instantly, you're constantly getting hit by fire, ice, or fucking rubber bullets, and the goddamn Flickies give absolutely no fucks about your misfortune. Hey, Sonic, we know that you're trying to save us and all, but fuck you. You better be grateful, you little shits. I swear, if the spin dash in this game didn't totally fucking suck, and I could decapitate you with my spines with said spin dash, I would fucking do it and leave you in bloody heaps on the ground. You hear me, you fucks? You fucking hear me? I'm sorry, I needed to just calm down a bit. Anyway. Like in the 2D games, there are monitors scattered throughout each level that Sonic can break to claim what's inside. There are monitors which give you 10 rings, an extra life, and one of 3 shields. The standard shield, which is blue and just lets Sonic take an extra hit without losing rings. The homing shield, which is gold and allows Sonic to home in on enemies by pressing the jump button in midair. And the fire shield, which doesn't have a fire dash like in Sonic 3, but still protects you from fire and lava. In the first 2 acts of practically every zone, you can also find Tails and Knuckles, who will send you to a special stage to collect a Chaos Emerald if you have at least 50 rings when you approach them. The special stages aren't really hard, but after my first one I found myself having some difficulty with the placement of spiked balls, leaving me unable to finish them. As a result, I only acquired 1 Chaos Emerald. The main reason I didn't play many special stages, though, is because of how much of a chore it can be to hold on to 50 rings, navigate the level, and find wherever Tails or Knuckles is hiding. If you find them without 50 rings, they still take all of the rings you have and give you fuck all in return. The number of rings they have stacks, so you'd think that you could bring them the difference after that, but no, they pocket the rings and basically tell you to piss off. Sonic and Tails are best friends, and Knuckles has been a trusted ally since Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So why the fuck are they dicking him over like this? He's trying to keep the Chaos Emeralds away from Robotnik, isn't that what everyone wants? As for the zones, there's Green Grove Zone, which isn't too bad. It gets you somewhat used to the controls and gameplay style, and the level design is fair, I guess. The boss battle here is simple, but no matter which boss battle you're playing, the isometric view really fucks you up, so yeah, take that for what you will. Rusty Ruin Zone is second, and it's here where Sonic becomes a ballerina to destroy broken columns and bounce off of everything in the level geometry like he's in a pinball machine. This level is annoying thanks to this mechanic. Sonic's momentum and slippery controls combined with his bouncing off shit while spinning leads to a lot of frustration. And you can't jump while you're doing this unless you want to exit the ballerina state, so oftentimes you have to follow a long path downward in order to destroy columns blocking your way, while avoiding enemy attacks that would knock you out of your spinning fit if you get hit. The boss here is, again, simple, but again, the isometric view really fucks you up. Spring Stadium Zone can go fuck itself, I'll leave it at that. Diamond Dust Zone has fucking ice physics on top of this god-awful slippery control. There are also turrets that freeze you in a block of ice that can sometimes send you flying along in any given direction, putting considerable distance between you and the flickies. Volcano Valley Zone practically requires you to use the fire shield, unless of course you like jumping over lava rivers with slippery controls and a horribly skewed camera. Thankfully, while they aren't exactly plentiful, fire shields aren't exactly hard to find either, but God help you if you lose your flickies by lava. Gene Gadget Zone has electrified floors, as well as fans that send you up in the air fucking around with your depth perception even more. And Panic Puppet Zone, while only having 1 set of flickies to collect with only 1 act where you have to do it, can be a major pain in the ass because of the sheer amount of turrets which, by the way, you can't destroy. The second act is basically just a run to the boss in Act 3, which is a multi-tier fight with a hitbox that I swear doesn't register half the time. Alright, you fat bastards, let's finish this once and for all! Fuck it! Robotnik wins! Sonic dies! The Flickies live happily in the 12th dimension, Tails and Knuckles become loan sharks, and Sonic 3D Blast is a fucking awful game! The graphics aren't as vibrant as the original games, the music is forgettable, the level design is nothing short of bullshit. The isometric 3D camera fucks with my depth perception worse than the temple stages in Crash Bandicoot. The flickies are ungrateful pricks, and the slippery-ass controls are the icing on the shit sundae that is Sonic 3D Blast. Even if you're a hardcore Sonic fan, don't even bother with this game. It's not fun, it's not entertaining, hell, it's not even good for a laugh like Sonic 06. It's just ass. Complete ass! Now I know that the true final boss is only accessible if you collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, but it honestly isn't worth your fucking time to go after the Emeralds in the special stages because of how hard it can be to bring 50 rings to Tails or Knuckles. I'm also very much aware that there's a Sega Saturn version of this game, which has higher visual fidelity, a new soundtrack, weather effects, and new special stages more reminiscent of the half-pipe from Sonic 2. But I don't own a Saturn, nor do I plan to own one, and Sonic 3D Blast certainly wouldn't convince me to buy one, especially since that version still doesn't have a save game function and its enhancements are, for the most part, purely cosmetic. It only took me 2.5 hours to get all that footage all the way up to the final boss, and even though it was technically on an emulator, it was an official release. I didn't use save states. I saved between recordings, but I never loaded the states. But honestly, it felt like twice the amount of time I actually played. I didn't have fun. I could have spent that time playing a good game. I love platformers, it's my favorite genre. And to play a platformer so horribly bad just makes me wish I could play a good one. I just want to play a good platformer. Wait. I know a game I can play. Next week on the Backlog, I'm going to be taking a look at Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus for the PlayStation 2. Hopefully this will actually be a good platformer, unlike Sonic 3D Blast, but we'll have to wait until next week to find out. So, thank you guys for watching, have a good night, and happy gaming.